Okay, let's start again. It is ignore these relays. I've got a relay solution that I'm going to actually attach the relays like right here, and it'll be totally out of the way, and it'll be super. I built a bracket here. You can't see the bracket yet, but I built a bracket. But it'll fit right over top of the starter relay. I am going to keep the starter relay only for originality, so, and we're going to use it. So this is the starter relay, and so we need to have ground go to the starter relay. We also need to have ground go to these relays also. So I'm going to create a wire here, and it is, I'm going to connect on a like a double connector, and you'll see it is not too crazy actually. So I shouldn't have put that wire on, but so we're going to need a wire going up to, I'm going to say I'm going to cut it about there. And then I need a green wire. And the green wire is for the, it's for the neutral switch. So this green wire dangling down is the this goes to the neutral light. So this neutral light needs to run and connect to the neutral switch down here. Well, it's not the neutral switch. It's actually the, well, I guess it is really a neutral switch, but we need to run a wire to it actually. It looks like it has a bullet connector, so we will connect a bullet connector to it as well. And once we have done this, this is like all of the this is all of the housekeeping really. Down here, after this is kind of going to be just getting everything set up. So generally we can get the entire bike set up and get it running actually. I mean, we can probably get it running. I mean, if you said get it running in 30 minutes, we can get it running in 30 minutes, but it is, we're going to, the headlight and the turn signals, they were not original to this bike. And so I'm using a particular wiring diagram that once we start getting up on the diagram, I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to put a link in the description. But the wiring diagram does not have a wiring schematic for the lights, for the turn signals. So I'm going to use another one. It's kind of like a variation. I don't know who it was done by. I'm going to show you who did it, and I actually will tell you where I got it from. And it is very, I'm going to say it's pretty good. It is, so let me take this one off again. And now this connector. This is an 8mm nut, and I want this one really kind of to point downward. So let me see if I can't put it in neutral and see if it works. Where's my meter? Sometimes it's kind of hard to, so if it's in neutral, you should hear a ring. I'm just touching the starter, so starter's grounded. This is not. You see I have it in neutral now, so the neutral light is working. And now we're in a gear. We're in another gear. So I'm in neutral again. I'm actually touching up here. So we're in neutral, it works. It is, so I'm gonna put a sheath around these ones as well. So, and I'm putting it through the triangle again. So this is kind of out of the way, which is nice. So we have the two wires here. One needs to be a bullet connector to connect for the ground. And so let's put on a connector. This is a bullet. That's a male, so we need to put a female on. Okay, here's a special connector we're going to put on. It's like a three-way connector because I can connect it and we can put a bullet in here, here, and here. And it really helps out. You really can't have enough connections to ground. And so we got a great connection there. These crimpers, I really never have a crimp that fails because of these crimpers. They just are fantastic. So here's our ground. This is the cable to the battery. I hope it's long enough, actually. Okay. I think it will be because the positive's over here anyway. So, oh yeah, we got plenty of room. There's plenty. It's good enough. And so on the starter switch, it is okay. So I know it sounds kind of crazy, but this number 23 is the starter switch. Why is that not focusing? Okay. Okay, there we go. That number 23 is the starter switch. And right here, K is the, that's that starter switch. So one wire goes to the starter switch. One wire goes to, well, it is, it goes to ground actually, but it's hard to see. Oh, they actually have this wired differently. It is, you see, 18. Well, I see what it is. This is just so crazy confusing. Number 18 is the neutral switch. So if you see the wire going up, first of all, one wire for the neutral switch is going toward this light in the dash, which is what I'm going to show you in a second. The second wire is going through, it's coming down and it's connecting. So it's picking up ground from the neutral switch to the starter switch. The third thing is that power needs to come in and power needs to go out. That's full voltage going in. So the voltage coming in here, they call it control voltage. So on the starter button, you can see the starter button, one wire goes all the way up to the dash panel. So it's picking up 12 volts up there. When you push the button, it's going to send 12 volts to this switch. When it sends 12 volts to this switch, if it has ground, it will make a connection. It will close. When it closes, it will transfer power basically from the voltage regulator / battery to the starter. So that's how it will start. So high voltage will go through one side of the of this relay. So the way we have it wired up is that instead of connecting this to the neutral switch, we have it connected to the ground on the bike. So it'll start all the time, which is really what it should do anyway. So we need to connect, we need two wires, one to connect to the starter. We already have that because we've already pre-run that. It already goes to the solenoid. And then one wire going to either power or the voltage regulator or the battery. It really doesn't matter either way. It is Normally I pick up power here, so it is yeah, normally I just pick up power right there. So it is so a wire will go from here. So one wire is going to connect to the voltage regulator and get power, and then one wire is going to go from the switch to the starter. So this wire that we actually already wired, that we already ran, this is the one that goes to the starter. This is the control voltage. I'm talking about the power going to the relay, from the relay to the starter to actually accentuate the solenoid. And once the solenoid is accentuated, main power is going to get transferred this way. And that's what was happening when we were testing it out. So it is, I'm going to install this little guy right now. And there are 4 connectors on it. 85, 86, 30/51, and 87. It's in essence a Bosch relay, but it's a 4-pin Bosch relay. So let me get some little screws and I'll be back. Okay, welcome back. So we have the starter relay installed. We need to wire it now, and I'm sorry for this black and white picture, but this is what it really looks like underneath. There are 2 terminals on the left-hand side, one in the center and one all the way to the right. So the one all the way to the right, this terminal right here goes to the starter. So we're going to hook that up just like that. The middle wire goes to the voltage regulator, and we're going to connect it right here. And the top wire is ground. So we already have a ground connection here. So we're going to create a ground connection from here down. And the one behind it is the control line, which this is it right here. So we're going to connect it down here at the bottom. So the first wire is connected to the relay. So let's make a wire from the voltage regulator to the starter. That uses a larger connection on one end, and so I'm going to do the wire from like about here to there, and it is it's very they're kind of like not easy to find, the connectors, and they're almost, I think they're called like almost VW connectors. So they're just huge spade bit connectors. So we need one huge spade bit connector, and we need one that is basically normal size. So that's what we're going to do. And the spade bit connectors that I got them at the auto parts store. And this is what they look like. They're huge yellow ones. So, and I kind of have a, here it is. I have a special connector for these. So this yellow one, since this is a yellow terminal, this is a this crimps the yellow ones. And I mean, that was maybe $10 on Amazon, and it's, I understand it's kind of a pain in the bottom to have to buy special tools all the time, but it's, So that is that connection. The next connection is a normal it is a normal terminal connection. So I'm putting a cover on it and I'm going to crimp it. So it makes a great connection.